Hi, everyone. You're listening to the 4th episode
of LMNOP, the podcast about everyone's favorite show, Avatar,
Elementary.
The Last Air... What?
Elementary.
Oh.
We're doing the show about Elementary still.
I like Aang.
There's already a show about Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's called My Podcavages, and it's on noisepace.xyz.
Oh.
With Summer and Noah Geist.
Oh, well, I didn't know any of that.
Well, you don't know anything.
Well, maybe I'll start listening. And I know at least 2 things.
Name both of them.
I'm very secretive.
Okay. I'm your host, Val Flight Cub, a.k.a. A Breakfast Ambush.
And I'm your other host. That's right, I've been upgraded. Alec, a.k.a. It's a nice day for a green card wedding. It's a nice day for a green card wedding.
Yeah, I know that was the reference you were making.
Yeah, okay, well, you know, Bubba didn't.
He's a dog. He still doesn't get it.
Yeah, well, I'll explain it to him.
The episode we're talking about today is Season 1, Episode 4. Rat Race.
Rat Race.
When I was typing that out, it said Rat Rave. And I wish that this had been 45 minutes of just little rats
partying.
Raved with the mesh shirts and doing a little swinging your hands around in a little circle with the...
What are they, baton twirlers?
No, that's a thing. And they had like the gloves with the lights.
I also didn't mean baton. I meant like ribbon. Ribbon dancers.
Still no, though.
It'd be fun.
But slightly less... Yes, that would be really...
More fun than rats racing.
Absolutely.
Did you hear that rat car just banned the Confederacy flag from their races?
Good for them.
Yeah, more like rat racist.
The episode Cold Open is a very dangerous situation. Joan goes to the police office. That's not the word, is it?
Yeah, the police office of Tommy Gregg.
Yeah.
Sin.
And she says, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't realize you and Sherlock were here." She's like, "He's not.
Just me.
Just me." And that's why they want to talk. That's why she wants to talk to him. Because Sherlock, nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. So Joan is like, "Sherlock's missing." And the captain is like, "So?" And Joan is like, "He's been gone for 3 hours. I haven't been able to get hold of him." He's like,
first off, where's the last time you saw him?
Uh-huh.
And...
Did you look there?
there?
And Joan is like, "No, you don't understand. We're not supposed to be apart for more than 2 hours." And Gregson is like,
"That's weird.
That's not how normal people interact."
I get it that he's your boss, but that's kind of strange.
Mm-hmm. And Joan is like,
He's not exactly right. It's not typical. We live together.
And Gregson's like, Oh,
now it all makes sense.
Oh, you guys are partners.
Ooh.
He was like, "Why didn't you just say that?"
You could just told us, you silly Billy. She's like, "No, it's not like that. I like him, but I don't like him like him."
And she barely likes him.
Yeah.
At this point, it's still growing.
That's a good point.
But she's like, "Okay, no, but seriously, I'm his sober companion. He might have relapsed. That's the only reason I'm telling you."
Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to note, she very much struggled with telling Gregson this.
Yeah,
It was not an easy thing.
Because she's really not supposed to.
Right. And even after she like couldn't get her point across, like, there was a good solid 5-10 seconds where she was just like, "Oh, I don't know. I can't tell him. Oh, but I gotta tell him."
Right. Like when she's like, "We live together," and he's like, "Okay." She's like,
yeah. But she tells him that, and then it cuts to
Sherlock.
And he's in a bit of a daze.
He's in a haze.
Oh, he's a bit of a phase.
He's in a craze. He's not in a craze. He's in a car.
Yes.
And he's tied up.
Yeah, he's handcuffed and his feet are zip tied, which is a really weird position to put yourself in to do drugs.
Yeah. You know what I think is strange? Well, I guess it's not that strange. Why did the captor, whoever put him in this, have handcuffs and zip ties?
Just in case.
Why would you have both? Like, if you have zip ties, aren't you good?
Maybe you... That's a very good point. Yeah, if you have the zip ties for the feet, why change it up for the handcuffs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess because if you think that the handcuffs are more sturdy.
Yeah, but feet are stronger than hands. Legs are stronger than arms.
Okay, One Punch Man. Wait, no, Kick Puncher. Okay, Kick Puncher. Punch Kicker.
One Kick Man.
One Kick Man. Yeah, I don't know. I guess because do you know the trick of how to get out of zip ties?
I mean, I've seen videos of it. I don't think I could do it myself.
I think I could do it myself if I was in a situation like that and my adrenaline was pumping.
Yeah.
You know?
I could probably get out of zip ties if I had a pair of scissors I could easily use with my mouth.
They're called teeth.
Shit. You should get your teeth checked out.
Yeah, Edward Scissormouth is what they call me. I got razor blades in there. So then we go to the opening. And we haven't talked about the opening sequence yet.
No, and it's cool as heck.
It's a little Rube Goldberg machine.
I don't know what that means, but it reminds me of Mousetrap.
Yes. Yes, it's a a marble falls down a thing and goes around a little thing, and it
and then things happen.
And it hits a lever that makes a thing swing, and then scissors cut a rope,
and then something gets smashed,
and then the rope, and then the marble head bust gets smashed, and then a little mousetrap falls on a little guy.
Got him.
And then the marble keeps rolling.
And the marble keeps rolling into a secret safe and a blood stain.
Yeah, not really, but there is blood.
Yeah. Actually, the marble rolls, and then it zooms in on the marble, and it says elementary and has all of New York. So it's kind of a Men in Black situation where all of New York City is actually taking place inside this marble, inside this title sequence.
So Joan is at breakfast with her friend.
2 days earlier.
Oh, yeah. 2 days earlier, Joan is at breakfast with her friend. And her friend is like, well, it's really great to see you. Oops, gotta leave. Bye. Here's the guy that I set you up with. Bye.
Yeah. Her male friend comes walking up thinking that he's having breakfast with his friends. But then the friend leaves. And now these two strangers are sat having breakfast together. Mm-hmm. One of them has a giant cup. Yeah,
Joan's cup is a bowl with a handle on it.
What was she drinking?
Maybe she was like, can I have some latte art? But I don't really care about the latte. They're like, 1 surface area special coming up. And they get this really wide cup bowl.
And what was the art?
It's a swan.
Wow. It was a black swan.
On a black background. It was black coffee.
Detail was amazing.
Yeah. So he's like, hello, I'm Anthony. And she's like, nice to meet. And he gets up to get his coffee order gets called out. And so he goes
and picks it up.
And while he's there, Joan puts her hair up in a ponytail. And then they hang out. And then Joan gets a text from Sherlock that says YT ND UASAP. And Anthony's like, oh, are you texting a baby? A little child baby? And Joan is like, nope, this is a fully grown man. So this is Sherlock's abbreviation for you there, need you ASAP. And Joan responds in regular words, still a coffee. Can this wait? And he says, IMLTHO, no, CUS. So, CUS means see you soon. And she's like, well, I gotta go, apparently. Nice to meet you, bye. And we cut to Sherlock, and he's like, it means in my less than humble opinion. Do you have any good text abbreviations that you like to use?
You know what, non-joke wise, I hate when I type OMW and it autocorrects to on my way, exclamation point.
Capital O, on my way, yeah. It's not
what I wanted.
No.
I didn't set this up.
I'm telling you I'm on my way and that I don't care enough to type it all out.
That's not an abbreviation that I want expanded. I have 2 abbreviations on my phone that expand to things, and that's all I want. I have FK, that goes to fuck. Because sometimes when you try to type that word, it goes to duck. Mm-hmm. And then I have :SH:, which is a little like shrug emoticon.
Yeah, Google Keyboard, if you type shrug, will suggest the little... Because you're talking about the like several key things of the guy
like backslash head. Hyphen
whatever
parenthesis
upper score.
Yeah, I don't even know how to make it. Honestly, if you asked me how I would make it, I would just go
and shrug. Well, because I think some of it is like kanji. It's like Japanese letters. The face is not. I mean, it's clearly not English.
It's no character I recognize. Mm-hmm. And I know 21.
6.
Oh, I forgot URAQT.
Thanks, me too. Have you seen URAB?
No.
It's a little comic that's like, there's 20 letters in the alphabet, right? No, there's 26. Oh, I forgot URAB. It's 2 B's talking about
B. Yeah.
And the other one says, me too, thanks. He says, me too. Thanks.
Gotcha.
It's a good comic. It's a very good comic.
There are 2 other letters that they forgot, though.
They're bees.
Ah, that's a good point. We need to invest more in our bee education.
Also, if they're missing 2 letters, there's 2 bees right in the comic.
Yeah, but different letters.
Yeah, they're different bees. So one character that we do recognize, Sherlock.
Hey, good transition.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Joan is like, why am I here? And Sherlock's like, well, I got called to a mysterious errand, and I don't know how long it's going to take. So you have to come with me.
Yeah, because we can't be apart for more than 2 hours.
Can't be apart for more than 2 hours.
And so she's like, well, where are we going? And he's like, the bank.
Sort of.
And then she's like, what are we doing there? And he's like, I said it's mysterious.
I said it's mysterious. I don't know, Joan.
And he's wearing a sweater that is just an inch too short for him.
It's a nice sweater, though. Earth tones.
Gotta love season 1.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his, like, bare belly out underneath
No,
it.
it's not a crop top.
But I would love if there was just a scene where he's like, oh, gotta get this book off this top shelf, and, like, reached up, and it's just like,
Oh, it's little belly.
Ooh, can you see my belly button? Sorry.
Joan is like, can you please just get the book and shut up?
It's like, who are you doing this for?
He winks right at the camera. We forgot.
We forgot
A really good moment. When Joan comes back and she's like, I'm here now. And Sherlock is like, oh, you met a man. And she's like, how did you know that?
She's like, is this the part where I'm supposed to be wowed by your magic abilities?
And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, yes.
And he's like, well, when you left the house, you weren't wearing a ponytail. And now you are. Whenever you meet a guy that you think is good looking, you put your hair in a ponytail because you think it is more flattering to you. You're wrong. It's a draw.
Nah.
I love it! This is what it means when somebody is, like, brutally honest. When they just, like, say what they're thinking all the time. Like, when people are like, I'm just honest, people can't handle it. It's like, no, you're a dick.
Yeah, no, you're like, hey, you shouldn't put your hair up like that. It looks like crap.
Right.
Your hair also looks like crap when it's down.
But he is just genuinely like, you're an attractive woman. Everybody knows that. You're Lucy Liu. Lucy Liu doesn't exist in this universe, but, you know, if she did, you'd look just like her.
You'd kill Bill.
Yeah, it's just a nice moment, because it's like, he's not saying it to be nice. He's not saying it to be mean. He's just like, this is a fact.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now they're going to the bank. Well, it's not really a bank, it's like an investment.
Yeah, Carbon Aerosol.
Canon Ebersol.
Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra. So they go, and Sherlock is wearing this little grimy sweater. And Joan is like, you don't really look fancy. And he's like, yeah, exactly. Fuck them. I hate bankers because they're crooks.
Yeah.
Comrade Sherlock.
Conrad Sherlock.
Conrad Sherlock. He is, yeah, it's great. I like that he's like, I feel like he's generally like a kind of pro-working class guy, even though he's very rich.
He doesn't like injustice in the world.
No, he does not. So they go to Carmen Electra.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been called there because this banking company is like a mute pigeon.
What?
The COO is missing.
It's no coup.
There's no coup. So their COO, Peter, it's not important. Peter is missing. But he has only been missing for like half a day or something.
Yeah.
So it's not long enough for the police to be called in. So then that's why they call Sherlock. And his associate, Joan Watson, who he calls
His bodyguard.
And
Which, if you've seen Kill Bill,
she can do.
yeah, or Charlie's Angels.
Mm-hmm. Sherlock is like, all right, I'll do it, but for 12 times my normal rate.
And he's like, whoa. The banker gives him a look. Sherlock's like, perhaps you think I'm not worth that. Well, let me give a little demonstration. You two are boning. Watch your body language. You, sir, just used isotopic alcoholic, whatever.
A solvent is what he says.
Yeah, whatever. You used magic science to remove nail polish from your hands today, and you, and then the guy's like,
yes, okay, fine.
We get it. 12 times.
No
you
way.
got it.
Which I think is like, this is a very typical thing of like Sherlock being like, all right, let me do my little parlor trick. But why did it matter that the executive was wearing nail polish and had to remove it? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
He had this like embarrassed look, like, oh no, like maybe he has a kid. Kid wanted to do his nails.
Yeah, well, bankers don't understand. Bankers only understand money. They don't understand human interaction. and wanting
fun.
to enjoy yourself.
So anyway, they say fine 12 times your normal weight. Normal weight.
Normal weight. Yeah.
I'll do it, but only with a big sumo wrestler suit on.
Well, I was going to make a joke about pounds and British pounds, but sumo wrestling's better. I would love an episode where the whole time he's in one of those inflatable sumo suits.
Yeah.
No explanation for it. Just, it's happening.
Mm-hmm. The killer is right behind this door. And he's like, all right, give me a second. He's like squeezing himself into the...
Every time he wants to open a door handle, he has to turn sideways so he can reach it.
So he said 12 times my normal rate, and Joan is like, what is your normal rate? And he's like, I don't know, I'll have to come up with one.
Yeah.
And he says, I wish I probably could have gotten 20, which I just love. He's like, you know what? Fuck these guys. You're gonna pay a lot of money, and I also don't like you.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So then they're in the guy's office, and Sherlock realizes that all of the books in this guy's office are, like, on the shelves, are unopened, except for one, which has been opened a lot of times. And he opens it, and there's something inside of it, which I really thought was going to be a flask, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah. It's a little catalog of, like, ladies.
Sex workers.
Underwear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joan is like, a lot of these corners are folded down. So he must have he must have engaged with a lot of these sex workers. So Sherlock is like, okay, this seems like expensive.
Yeah, there are rings on the bottom of the pictures, and the more rings, the more expensive the lady. And Joan's like, how do you know that? From experience? And Sherlock's like, I'm deducing.
Okay, it's not that hard to figure out.
I'm a deducer.
Which, fair enough, doesn't really... I mean, what else would they mean?
Yeah.
The amount of hours that you could...
Yeah, but also remember the first episode where he had a sex worker leaving his house.
We don't know that.
Okay, remember where every other episode where he hires sex workers for sex? Or maybe he just knows interesting people.
He does. He engages with a dominatrix, which some people do as a job. But
that's sex work.
You know?
Maybe he's just friends with a lot of sex workers.
That is
a sex worker on the side.
That is honestly pretty... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty likely he's friends with sex workers.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, so this guy probably has an accountant to take care of the fact that he's got to, like, launder this money to all of these very pricey sex workers. So he looks in the guy's books, and he's got an appointment with a, very legit accountant, and then he's got another one that's for executive private accounting.
More like executive privates accounting.
Sherlock is like, secretary, what's your name? No, he says, what did he say? What did your boss say your name was? And she's like, he didn't.
He didn't. It's Donna.
It's Donna. He's like, Donna, can we get a lunch date at
Fancy Pants Restaurant?
Dahlia. What is the thing from American Psycho?
Oh, I don't know.
So Donna, the secretary, gets them an appointment at a fancy restaurant, and Joan is like, we're not dressed for that fancy restaurant. And Sherlock is like, yeah, we're not dressed for here either. Yeah. So I don't give a heck. We're gonna lure this accountant with this lunch meeting. So they go to this fancy restaurant. And Joan is like, so you hate bankers, but you love their money. And Sherlock is like, yes, I love spending it because I'm going to redistribute their wealth.
Yeah, which, is great and all, but he's also redistributing the wealth at a fancy restaurant owned by already wealthy people.
Yes, but he orders a bottle of wine.
Yeah, the waiter comes over with a very fancy bottle of wine, and Joan's like, what do you think you're doing? And Sherlock's like, no, this is a very nice bottle of wine. And she's like, I don't care if it's the nicest bottle of wine, you're not drinking it.
She actually says, I don't care if it comes in a box, you're not drinking it.
Also, I just realized that when she said a box, she meant like wine in a box. I was thinking do really fancy wines come in boxes? Like I imagined like a wooden box that like you pry open for the first time in 80 years. And you're like, these grapes were around in the time of your great grandparents.
It's like a a jewelry box for a tennis bracelet, but there's a bottle of wine inside. So he's like, no, this young couple over there. You know, the guy looks really nervous and his suit looks like shit. And he keeps pressing his pocket like he's gonna, you know, like there's something important in there that he wants to make sure is still there. He's gonna propose. And the young couple's they're splitting a dessert.
Yeah, you know, I thought that was cute because he's pointing out that they are not a well-to-do couple. His suit is frayed, so it's the only one he has, but he wants to look nice for this place.
He must have saved up.
He must have saved up to be here. And then, yeah, you did your own little detective work, pointing out that they were sharing a dessert. Yeah. Which would be another way to save money out of a fancy place.
Yeah. They just look like kids.
Yeah. So he's like, I bought it for them, either as a congratulations or condolences. However it goes.
Yeah, whichever way it goes. So they talk to this accountant who finally shows up. Sherlock is like, okay, I lied. I don't work for Kennedy Ebersol, and I don't want to hire you. But I do want to extort you into telling us about your client. And because the guy's like, I'm not going to tell you shit about my private's accounting. And Sherlock is like, hello, the newspaper? And the guy's like, all right. This guy's...
I'll tell you everything.
I'll tell you everything.
And he says that Peter has an apartment, a hidden apartment for his extracurricular activities, extramarital activities, you could say. And so they're like, great, thanks, bye. And they go to the apartment. And while they're on their way there, Sherlock is like, oh, Joan, you got a text from that guy. You said yes to lunch with him.
She's like, stop looking at my phone and super stop replying to things as me.
First you hack my email, now you hack my phone. Why didn't she take her phone to the bathroom, and why didn't she put a lock on her phone?
Yeah, those are great points.
Yeah.
Also, is this guy's name Anthony or Aaron?
Yeah.
I thought it was Aaron, but you've been saying Anthony.
I might be thinking of the Sex and the City character, Anthony. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
A man. A dog.
A-bomb.
No. A-bone. Like T-bone, but with an A. Call it a wishbone. So, they go to this apartment, and the way that they get in is Sherlock does his fake New York accent, which I fucking love. Like, this is Detective Dominic with the 23rd. We got his... I'm not even doing it. He does it so well.
She's like, hey, yeah, this is the detective with... we got a warrant for...
Apartment 2G.
2G.
Yeah. And the super just buzzes them in, and he's like, yeah, they never ask.
I mean, he's so talented. He speaks so many different languages.
Mm-hmm.
He does perfect Brooklyn, New York accents. Mm-hmm. What can't this guy do?
His Spanish accent is bad, but other than that, he's very talented.
Hey, I'm doing accents here.
Hey, So they go in, and it looks like the guy... They find Peter Talbot in the apartment.
Beautiful apartment.
But he's dead. He's DED.
Dead as a dead guy.
Dead as a dead man. He's dead like a corpse who died.
And he's in a armchair with a heroin needle stuck in him.
Which is what Sherlock, used to do.
Yeah.
Heroin, not sitting in chairs. He still sits in chairs. And so Joan is like, oh shit, this is a traitor. And the police come and they're investigating everything. And Sherlock is like, I don't think this guy gave himself heroin. And Marcus is like, it's right there. The heroin is in his arm and he's holding it.
Use your eyes, bozo.
Use your eyeballs. And Sherlock is like, look at his apartment. Does this look like trash? No.
And there are no track marks in his arms. Mm-hmm. And there's a salad left out on the kitchen counter.
Yeah, which couldn't be more clear. Murder weapon. And Marcus is like, I've never been hit with a salad, but looks floppy. I don't think you could die from that. Sherlock's like, there's heroin in the salad dressing. Person poisoned him so that when he was knocked out from eating heroin, they could put him in the chair and set him up to look like he died.
Right. And it had to be heroin in the salad because there was heroin in his system from the overdose. And if there was another drug like chloroform that showed up on the tox report, it would look suspicious.
Yes. It would look like a moida.
Yeah.
So they interview the dead guy's wife because he's dead.
Yeah, well, Sherlock says that they have to interview the wife because if she knew about the affairs in the apartment, obviously she has a big motive. Mm-hmm. And Captain Tommy G is like, you can watch.
Yo.
You can sit in the room and watch as Marcus and I interrogate her.
Right.
Nicely.
Interview her.
As we talk to her politely.
Yeah. So they do. And they're talking to her, and she's like, I had no idea that he was, even doing heroin at all. I thought he was done with all of that stuff. But, I wouldn't be surprised because his job's very stressful. He used to joke that the previous guy died to get out of it, and get out of going to work. And Sherlock's like,
What?
Excuse me?
2 dead?
What did you say? 2 guys with the same job died in a row?
That is cuckoo.
And the wife is like, yeah, he was really allergic to peanuts and he ate peanuts in his Chinese food. So why is that important? And Sherlock's like, thank you, goodbye.
And also, it only happened like 6 months ago.
Right.
8 months ago.
Yeah. It's a stressful job, but how stressful could it really be?
Yeah.
That 2 people die of the accidentally. That doesn't make any sense. Stress is not what makes you
accidentally die.
Eat peanut oil.
No. The more stressed you are, the more the universe wants to kill you.
The more likely it is that a chef will accidentally put the wrong oil in your food. So now they're back home, back in the Brownstown, and Sherlock is on the phone with the chef at this restaurant. And apparently this previous coup was meticulous. He always got his food from the same place. He had an arrangement with the chef where, like, anytime he was ordering from them, the chef knew not to put peanut oil even in his vicinity while he was working so that he wouldn't accidentally put it in the food. Mm-hmm. So he swears that he did not mess it up. And Sherlock is having this conversation in Mandarin, by the way.
Joan's like, you speak Mandarin?
Yeah, Sherlock says, not as well as I'd like. How about you? She says, not as well as my mother would like. I like that. I like the little, like, bonding moments.
Yeah, it's cute.
And
foreshadowing for her relationship with her mom. But that comes later.
It's true. So Joan wants to get into kind of like, how did it make you feel to be back to be at that crime scene? And like, she's like, do you feel like it might trigger you? Do you, I should stay tonight. And Sherlock is like, no, I'll be fine. I'll take a test when you get back if you really need to, but you should be going on your date.
Yeah.
With the guy.
You go on your date. And besides, if I really wanted to do heroin, I'd sneak out my window.
I would do it anyway. I could do it anyway, even if you were here. Yeah.
You can't stop me.
So Joan goes on this date, and it seems like it went really well. It's really nice to, like, see Joan, like, interacting with other people. Mm-hmm. Like, she and Sherlock have a really interesting relationship, and, like, she, learns to get on with him really well and stuff, but, like, it is fun to just see her, like, kind of loose and, like, she, like, laughs with this guy, and it just, like, feels really natural and, like,
yeah.
Oh, it's fun times. But then she's like, yeah, so I've never been married. How about you? And he's like, nope.
No. Taxi.
Taxi. And so Joan is like, And he goes in for a kiss, and she sticks her hand out for a handshake. She's like, see you next time. Bye. So when she gets back from her date, he's like, how was your date? Well, he's like swabbing the inside of his mouth for the little test. And she's like, yeah, it was fine. I think he lied and I asked him if he had never been married or if he'd ever been married. He said no. And Sherlock's like, well, let's Google it. And they Google it, basically. They go to, like, hasthisguybeennmarried.com. And they look it up, and Sherlock's like, he wasn't married.
He is married.
He is married. To this day. And Joan's like, dang it.
And also, why did my friend set me up with a married dude?
Yeah, what the heck?
What the heck?
So then Sherlock tells Joan what he has been up to while she's been gone.
What's he been up to?
Well, he's been investigating. He's been deducing. So there's been 4 other people that died in quote-unquote accidental deaths. But he doesn't think that's real.
Well, he's actually looked up all of the people that have died from the Carmen Electra Bank in the last, 10 years. And it's like a list of, a dozen people or so. And Joan's like, well, things happen in years. And so it's possible that some of these are just random. And he's like, yeah, but it's also possible murder. Because
these 4 seem very suspicious. Mm-hmm. So then he kind of does a sort of semi-parlor room reveal at Cannon Ebersol.
Mm-hmm. He goes back to the bank to present his evidence.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, this person died from getting eaten by a bear. Bears are vegetarian. This person died from a gas leak. Gas doesn't exist. This person died from swimming, but he's really good at swimming, so he wouldn't have died from drowning, is what I meant to say. And this other person, I don't remember what the fourth person died of.
No, but you remember that the first person definitely died from being eaten by a vegetarian bear.
Which is what makes it suspicious.
Ooh.
So he's like, we just need to, we need to find whoever's been benefiting from these murders, who's lived in these areas at these times, and somebody in the boardroom that's there is like, you're saying somebody's killing their way up the ladder? That sounds insane to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's why it's murder. It's always going to sound insane. Like,
you mean somebody's been killing somebody else for their own personal gain?
I would never do that.
What?
That's unusual behavior.
I thought people just murdered for fun.
That sounds really not like something I would want to do at all. No. I wouldn't think about that. Sherlock's like, yeah, no shit. But he's like, we just need to figure out who has been in these locations at these times. And the guy that hired Sherlock is like, all right, everybody leave. This is redonkulous. I'm not putting up with this. And he's like, because you know what? There is somebody that has that career trajectory. And it's me.
It's me!
Which when I first saw this, I was like, wow, that's a bold fucking move for the killer to just be like, stop investigating, because if it was a killer, it would be me.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too.
So just go away instead of arresting me.
I was like, did this guy just confess?
Yeah. And he later goes to Sherlock's house, and Sherlock is like, yeah, we can end this really quickly if you just confess. Mm-hmm. Like, Sherlock is like, makes sense that you would be the killer, so you probably are. And the guy's like, I was having liposuction when the one guy got eaten by a so-called bear. Mm. He didn't actually get eaten by a bear, but I don't remember what it really was. But yeah, you know how in Legally Blonde, mm-hmm. the client is like, my alibi said I was getting. Elle is like, what? That's basically what he says.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he's like, jowly guys don't make it to the top. And I'm just like, I feel like they do all the time.
How many jowly men do you see on the cover of Barron's?
Yeah, like plenty.
And you're like, all of them?
I haven't looked at that magazine, but I would assume it's covered. And it's like if he was like, I have to get a fake tan because how many old white guys do you see running banking institutions?
Yeah.
So it's not him.
Could it be him? He was getting his fat sucked.
Yeah. And and then he got surgery. And then he says, you're looking for a sociopath at this banking company. We're all a little twisted here.
All bankers are sociopaths.
Yeah, that's what he says. And it's like, wow, welcome to my twisted bank.
Wow, it really seems like the writer of this episode hates bankers.
Good.
Did you think he got a fucking overdraft fee the day before?
Yeah.
Also, fuck overdraft fees.
Honestly,
fuck stupidest fees. Oh, you don't have money? Well, let me take more money away from you.
It's gonna cost you money. Yep. Poor man pays twice. So Sherlock is like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. If it wasn't this guy, he's the only one with that career trajectory, but he couldn't have done it. And there's this other guy, like the next in line after him, but he's like, he was an intern when the first one happened. Yeah. And so he's like, he's bouncing this basketball on the floor onto the files that the guy has given him. Mm-hmm. And Joan is like, can you stop? You're being really loud. And so he's like talking about the case with her. He's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, bonk, 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 bonk. It doesn't make sense. It couldn't have been this guy because he was just an intern. Bonk, 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 bonk. So they have no idea. They don't know what's happening. And he's like, well, you should go on your date because I'm going to keep bouncing this ball. Because Joan...
Well, yeah, it's not really a date. It's a explanation get-together. Because
married guy,
Anthony, Aaron, whatever his name is. So Joan has confronted Aaron Anthony about him being married, and he's like, can we please get together so I can explain?
Mm-hmm. And so Sherlock is like, you should meet him because I'm going to keep bouncing. So she does. And he's like, how did you know? And she's like,
you're explaining
It's your
time.
time.
Not my time.
I don't have to explain myself. So he says, listen, I volunteer for this legal aid thing or something.
Yeah.
For refugees. And this woman applied for refugee status and was denied, so he married her for green card. And she, lives in Hoboken. They don't talk.
He's like, we can get divorced in a year without the government crawling up our butts about it.
Mm-hmm. So Joan is like, okay, fine. And then he's like, okay, but really? How did you find out?
And she was like Timmy Turner. She's like, the internet?
Internet? Exactly. So while Sherlock is bouncing the ball on the paperwork, he sees that the medical papers that the guy has given him, Donna, the secretary, is listed as the emergency contact. And he's like, because he thought Donna was just his New York assistant. But she's apparently been with him since the beginning, since the time of the first murder.
Since the bear attack.
So he's like, now it's time. I get to do a parlor room reveal.
Yeah.
And he goes to Donna.
He's like, I love this part.
Yeah. He goes to Donna and he's like, so this is what happened. You killed those people so that the guy that you work for would get moved up the ladder, and I'm sure you got perks too, bigger office, or your own assistant, cold lemonade.
Everyone loves cold lemonade.
Yeah, maybe a different thing like healthcare or something. But
who needs healthcare when you have lemonade?
Universal lemonade. Val Flight Cup 2024.
And she's like, oh, you think you're so smart. You're just like all these other bankers that I've had to deal with my whole life. And he's like, you've never met anybody like me. I'm wearing a sweater.
Yeah. And she's like, but you're stupid. You were so excited to do your parlor room reveal, you did it in an empty garage with me.
And then she pulls out a taser from her purse and tases him.
That's my taser sound.
It's spot on. I feel like I'm being tased. Taste.
And then we're caught up.
Yeah.
Sherlock is in the back of the car, handcuffed and tied, and Joan is freaking out.
So they're driving, and Sherlock keeps getting texts from Joan, and Donna's like, "Why do you keep getting all these texts from Joan?" And Sherlock's like, "Well, she's not going to stop.
She's probably going to go to the police.
She's probably going to go to the police if I don't answer back." And so Donna's like, well, fine, I'll answer back. And she's like, hi.
Dearest Joan.
My phone, my telecommunic device was off. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm okie dokie artichokey. See you soon.
Sincerely, Sherlock Holmes.
Your soon-to-be friend, maybe.
And so, of course, Joan gets this and is like, well, this is not from a baby child.
Yeah, there's not a single abbreviation.
Little emoji, nothing. So, he gets rescued.
Yeah, so Donna drives him out to her boss's cabin in the woods, and is like, I'm gonna kill you, bury you out here, and then they're gonna blame my boss, and then the next in line will become the new coup, and he'll need a secretary, so everything will be great. And Sherlock is like, it's very smart. You're a very smart woman. Keep telling me all of these plans.
I'm gonna die anyway.
I'm gonna die, so just waste some more time. And tell me all this. And as she's doing that, wee woo, the police arrive. The police car siren has been broken, so they're just on the microphone. The megaphone. Wee woo.
Yes. Yeah, he also had used a paperclip, unlocked his handcuffs while he was making her talk and stuff. So he picks her pocket and
he has a nice line that I liked where he was like, "Bet you didn't know I can pick locks and pockets," and then he tases her. Taste. And so crime solved. It was Donna the Secretariat.
She ate that bear.
And so now it's time for the 20 seconds of character development.
But we get 2 of them.
But we actually have 40 seconds. Mm-hmm. Because Sherlock goes up to his good pal, Tommy G, Captain Gregors.
Because Joan told him about being sober companion. So he's like, sorry, I didn't tell you. And Gregson is like, I been new.
I'm big boy smart.
I'm big boy smart.
Do you think I didn't do my research, brah?
And he's like, do you think I'm stupid when you told me, she was your personal valet?
He's like, no. You are above average intelligence.
You're slightly above average intelligence, which is amazing for a cop. He says something like that. It's so great.
But actually, to be fair, I think it's 2 separate thoughts. I think he says you're above average intelligence, like for a human, and as far as a cop, you're top tier.
Oh, not that he's so smart.
You're not smart for a cop.
Oh,
I'm saying you're smart.
And a good cop.
And, yeah, a top tier cop.
Well, you can actually be rejected from applying to the police academy if you get too high of an IQ score. So, my interpretation, while incorrect, was not wrong.
Yeah. And so they bond over that, and he's like, hey, I knew, and and if you want to talk, great, I'm here. I don't think your past has affected anything that you've done. I appreciate everything you've done for the department. Now, other people might not feel the same way, so we can just keep this between you and me.
Tommy says, I'm a cool mom. I'm not like other moms. Sherlock is, really touched by that. Because he says to Gregson, the reason I didn't tell you, I could say a bunch of stuff, but, the reason I didn't tell you was because I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
And it's just he's a human being.
Yeah.
And then that Tommy doesn't think any less of him.
It's sweet.
Yeah. Good face acting.
Really good.
By Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah. Good job, Johnny!
Good job, Johnny. We like you.
And now from Johnny to Joan.
No, Johnny is the name of the actor.
Okay, Johnny to Lucy.
Sherlock to Joan.
Yeah, whatever.
So Sherlock is in the back of the brownstone. Sherlock is in the living room. He's handcuffed himself behind his back, and he's trying to pick the locks, which I love this because, spoilers, they do this later. When Joan is studying under him, they do this where they both are seated with their hands handcuffed behind their backs, and they're racing. But he's just doing it by himself because he's the only investigator, as far as we know. As far as Joan knows. So Joan is this married guy, this green card marriage guy is blowing me off. We were gonna go to a party together, and now he's he doesn't seem interested. And Sherlock is well, that's what happens when you become big boy, big girl smart. Is, when you start to be detective, not everybody likes to be deduced.
Yeah. You start to see the puzzle and everything.
Some people don't like being puzzles. It makes you better than everyone, but
people are puzzles.
They are puzzles.
Yeah, they are puzzles.
He's has its costs. And, so Joan's starting to understand what it means to be a detective, investigator. Maybe the cost is worth it to her.
Maybe. Something she has to think about.
Joan is it sounds lonely. Sherlock is I said what I said. And also, she's getting ready to go for a jog.
Yeah.
She loves to jog.
Oh, you think you're so much better than us because you jog?
Ooh, I do cardio.
I can run away from knife-wielding killers.
And that's the finish line of the rat race.
Hey, I get it.
Hey.
Do you like this episode?
I did. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Their connection is what saved him. Joan learning who Sherlock is and what he does and how he acts and how he doesn't.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It is. And, beyond just literally, Joan saving the day, which she does, but also, Joan because she knows Sherlock.
Yeah.
Because they're friends.
Yeah.
Kinda. He's the annoying friend. I also really like that Sherlock is a texter. Mm-hmm. Because it makes total sense that he would be really up with technology, obviously, but then also just that he would be yeah, it's more efficient.
Yeah, let me find the most efficient way to utilize this.
Yeah.
That's what's great about this episode?
What?
Limited cops.
Limited cops. Yes. Well, the end of the episode, so we would just like to say...
I love you. I like you.
I meant something bye.
I tolerate you.
Something goodbye. Or
I goodbye you.
Keep on rolling, marbles. Thank you, bye.